Some of y'all have embraced the abnormal for so long, you've accepted that you're blind. Being broke ain't normal. Struggling, you can't pay your bills. That ain't normal. Being in a relationship that ain't going nowhere. Look at your neighbor that ain't normal. These men were blind. But watch this. But at least they understood that their blindness was not normal. So what did they do, Pastor? Watch this. The Bible said they followed Jesus. Watch this, y'all go like this. Look at verse 27. How many men does the Bible say were blind? 2. Watch this. How many? Y'all missed it already. Watch this. Can I get it to you? Most time when people deal with this text, this story, most time they only deal with their condition about them being blind. But what I want to show you all is the covenant that these two blind men shared. Because when we see here that both the men were blind, what we see here is that both men shared the same situation. They both shared the same dilemma. See, nobody understood them better than each other. See, blind folks hang with blind folks. Blind folks understand blind folks. Because if you're not looking for something and I'm not looking for something, then we both are not looking for anything together. And the only thing we can talk about is a blind conversation. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, is your conversation about blindness? Or is your conversation about vision? I know you're blind, but do you want to see? I know you're blind, but is your conversation talking about what you're about to get and what God is about to do? I know you're blind, but do you want to see? Because in this next dimension, I'm telling y'all right now, and I can only speak for me. Matter of fact, let me step out of my pastor role and talk as Melvin. In this next dimension, watch this. I ain't talking to people that ain't talking about something. In this next dimension, people gonna be saying, Pastor, think he all that? No, it ain't that I think I'm all that. It's just that when you ain't talking about that. So when I walk up on y'all and y'all talking about it, did you see some salad hat? And I just walk away, don't get offended. Because if you ain't talking vision, then I'm not talking. There's a kingdom out here that needs to be built. We need to be having vision conversation. There's too many churches around here that's compromising the word of God, and they working on gimmicks. God needs a ministry that's preaching unadulterated gospel that's gonna tell the truth like it is. I ain't got time to talk nothing. There's souls out here that need to be saved. I ain't got time for small talk. We need to be talking vision. Look at your neighbor and say, you got a vision conversation. Because look at verse 27. We see two blind men sharing the same dilemma, right? They both blind. Same situation. But I also see something else in the text. For it says that they followed Jesus, blind men, which tells me that these men had a desire to be healed. They both shared the same situation. But at least both, they watch this. Even though they both share blindness, at least they both share vision. They was talking the same conversation. If I'm gonna be in covenant with you, we gotta be talking the same thing. If Why y'all quiet? Because one person got vision, the other one don't. So watch this. Two blind men follow Jesus. Everybody said they had a desire. And not only did they have a desire to be healed because they followed Jesus, but look what the text says. They followed him crying. They cried, have mercy on us. So not only do we see they have a desire, but now we see they have a strong desire to have a better life. And you got to give these blind men credit because they couldn't have gotten comfortable with being blind. So what that says to me is that just because you're in a no-sight situation don't mean you got to stay in a no-sight situation. Just because you are blind don't mean that you got to accept the situation that you are in. Let me get this last point. Now let's turn the corner. Look at verse 28. Verse 28. And when he had come into the house, blind men came in after him. Still followed. Then walked into the doorpost. Then tripped over the step. The blind men came in. And Jesus said, after he sees blind men following him, that's gotta raise suspicion. You know, I'm using my spiritual imagination. It's not in the text. Jesus knows these blind men following. He probably wanted to see how bad they would be healed. Watch this. Jesus turns to the blind man and says, look what it says, look what it says. He said, do y'all believe I can do this? What they say? Watch this. He says, in other words, your faith level, watch this, your faith level is going to make the ultimate decision on whether you will see or not. Y'all missed it. Your faith level is going to make the ultimate decision whether or not you're going to enter into this next dimension. As a matter of fact, I put this on my Facebook. God won't even let you make a wrong decision. You can make a wrong decision and God will step in and say, not that one. I got the right decision. Can I get a witness up in here? So watch this. Your faith level is going to make the ultimate decision whether you enter into your season or your next dimension. Now look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, what does your faith see? Y'all listen to what I just said. Only a few. Let me tell you this. In the spirit, I see this in the spirit. There's less than half of y'all are going to be able to relate to what I'm saying. That's why everybody can't go to the next dimension with you. Because everybody can't see what you see. Because it's your faith level that's going to make the decision on whether you enter into your next dimension. You can't get to the next dimension if you ain't got the faith to get to the next dimension. And while you're waiting on God to step in and do it, God says, I'm just waiting on you to increase your faith so I can go ahead and step in and do what I said I'm going to do. Because look at verse 29 and I'm going to take my seat. After Jesus asked him and said, do you believe I'm able to do this? What did they say? Yes! Watch this. Jesus says, according to your faith, be it unto you. In other words, because you believe I can do it, it's already done. And I want to ask y'all a question. How many of y'all got the faith to get to the next dimension? I want all my next dimension folks to stand up on your feet. That know you got the faith. You ain't trying to figure it out. You ain't trying to guess it out. Because you already know God done worked it out. If you got the faith to get to the next dimension, I want you to touch somebody standing next to you. If they sit down, go find somebody that's standing up and say, neighbor, you might want to excuse me because I'm about to turn my faith up a notch. If you've got to take faith to get to the next dimension, turn to your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm about to turn my faith up. Can I get a witness? I'm about to increase my praise for this next dimension. I'm about to increase my shout for this next dimension. The devil tried to convince me that God wouldn't go do it, but now I see all I need to do is increase my faith. Thank the Lord, all right. All you gotta do, church, to get to the next dimension is believe that God can do everything but fail. Is the Lord all right? Is there anybody here that believe God is gonna take you into your next dimension? Well, if you believe God is taking you, tell your neighbor, now I see I need to increase my praise. Now I see I need to increase my giving. Now I see I need to increase my anointing to another level. As a matter of fact, I need to increase my praise to the next dimension. Can I get a witness? Some of y'all got